Hello guys, I am Nidishri Batalwadi, your science teacher, Sankalp Learning Solutions. In the last class, we discussed regarding sources of energy. In that, we discussed regarding the sources, how many sources of energy are there, what are the sources of energy like renewable resources, non-renewable resources, as well as we have discussed a lot about thermal power plant, which is a conventional source of energy. With the help of heat, we are going to generate the electricity, and we also discussed regarding the advantages as well as disadvantages of the thermal power plant. Okay. Today we are going to discuss the other type of conventional source of energy, which is nothing but a hydroelectric power plant. Okay. So as you see the term hydroelectric power plant, hydro refers to water. Okay. And we know that power plant refers to generation of electricity. Generation of electricity. Okay, so here the electricity is generated with the help of water or by the water. That is why it is called hydroelectric power plant. So in the previous one, the electricity was generated using heat energy. So it was called as thermal power plant. As we know that water, what is the property of water? Water will be always flowing, right? Water will be always flowing. Water flow. So this water flow consists of some energy with it. That is nothing but the energy associated with the movement, with the flow. What is that energy is called as? Yes, it is nothing but kinetic energy. Okay. So this kinetic energy of water due to its flow makes the turbine to rotate. When the turbine rotates, the generator, the coil inside the generator rotates, which will change the magnetic field of the two magnets and which creates or which produces electricity. So here one thing is common is always generator is common. Generator is common, so which will be having the coil and two magnets which runs on a principle of electromagnetic induction, and the connection of a generator with turbine is common. In all the power plant, these are common. The difference is which energy is used to rotate this turbine. In the previous one, we heated the coal, we burnt the coal, heat energy is produced, that heat energy is transferred to water, water got boiled and steam, whatever we got. So that rotated the turbine from which we got the electricity. But here, as the name indicates, I'm sorry, hydroelectric power. So water flow makes the turbine to rotate. Okay, the water which flows from a taller region or which flows from a height. So here it will be at potential energy. When it flows, it will be consisting of kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy of the flowing water makes the turbine to rotate. Kinetic energy of water flow makes the turbine to rotate, which will, okay, which will produce electricity, which will produce electricity. So this is how hydroelectric power plant works. So this is for this only the dams will be constructed. I think you might have visited certain dams. What are dams actually? So it is nothing but the river water reservoir, or we can say which stores the river water. Dams are the larger largest places, so where they will store river water. River water. So it is called as water reservoir. Dams are considered as water reservoir which reserve the river water. So this river water or extra amount of river water which has been stored in the dams. Okay, so the dams will be like this. Okay, they will be at you can see they will be the height of the dam or the place, it will be quite higher than compared to the ground level. So okay, the dams will be having certain gates. You might observe in the dams, the dams will be having certain gates. Fine. So when these gates will get open, flow of water takes place. At the before the water was at rest, the water was not flowing. They were controlled by this gate. The water was flowing only within these walls, or we can say these pillars or this region. But when we open the gate, what happened? The water flow occurs, means immediately the potential energy got converted into kinetic energy. So this kinetic energy is there, no? It helped the turbine to rotate. So which made the generator, or which made the coil inside the generator to rotate to give out electric current. And this electricity which is formed will be connected to the current cables. The lines, electric lines. So this is how electricity is generated in the hydroelectric power plant. Fine. So here what happens? The dams are constructed, and from the dams the water gates will be opened. At that time, when the water flow, the turbine rotates, and the rotation of turbine causes generator to produce the electricity. Okay, here you can observe that. In both thermal power plant and the we can say hydroelectric power plant, the most common concept is rotation of turbine and the working of generator. This will be same in all the power plants, but only the change is which energy we are using, or we will be using here to rotate the turbine. In thermal power plant we used heat energy, whereas in hydroelectric power plant we are using kinetic energy of the flowing water, right? Next, now let us see certain advantages and disadvantages of hydroelectric power plant. So here we can write kinetic energy of flowing water is used. Flowing water is used. Right now, advantages. When we come to the advantages of we can say the hydroelectric power plant, here the first and foremost advantage is no pollution. As you can see, we are using the property or the characteristic of water, the flowing water, as an energy to rotate the turbine. There is no release of certain smoke or gases as in thermal power plant. In thermal power plant, we are heating or we are burning the coal, which will release the smoke into an atmosphere, which causes certain amount of air pollution. But here you can't see any pollution as we are using flowing water. Next, in the thermal power plant, okay, taking the coal and putting the coal, burning it, transportation of coal, storing it requires high maintenance. But the maintenance of dam is very easy. Once it is constructed, maintenance is very easy. So once the dam is constructed, maintenance is easy, we can say. Next, as we use coal, which is a non-renewable resource of energy in case of thermal power plant, means if we use coal extensively, okay, without a limit, so the amount of coal will become down. Okay, again we cannot generate it, produce it. It takes a lot of time. Okay, but we are using here renewable sources of energy. Water is a renewable source, right? It will never get over. It is a renewable source of energy. So these are the advantages of hydroelectric power over thermal power plant. Next, when we come to the disadvantages, there are many disadvantages. The first one is As we know that we need a dam for the generation of electricity, we need a very large space to construct a dam, and the construction of dam will not be completed by 3, 6 or 9 months. It takes years to years to construct the dam, and it is very, we need crores together to construct the dam, right? So here construction of dam is expensive. The first one is construction of dam is expensive and time consuming. Expensive and time consuming, and consumes a lot of time. Okay, next one. So as I said, the construction of dam needs a larger space, largest space or larger area we can say. So when we want to construct the dams, so we have to cut the trees in that place. So when we cut the trees in that place, it affects the trees as well as it affects the animals which are staying in that place. They will lose their habitat, that is they will lose their houses, they will lose their food, because they will be knowing where they will get the food in that particular place, and they will be usually adjusted to that particular weather of that place, right? So we will disturb the flora and fauna of that place. So we can say flora and fauna. Flora means plants, fauna means animals. Plants and fauna, that is animals, that are animals, will be affected of that place where we will construct the dam, of that place will be affected. And suppose the dam is being constructed in the place of village, so many farmers may lose their fields over there, right? And some of the people, they will be adjusted to that particular place only, their work, their livelihood, they will be settled in that particular place. So whenever someone says that to vacate that place where they will be living for years together, to vacate that place and shift to somewhere, so that time the people livelihood, okay, will become problematic, means they may not be adjustable to other new environment or the new house where they will get, right? They should search for new work and all. So the rehabilitation of a displaced people, what we say displaced means they will relocate, they will change their location of the people. So they will say they will give them a new house in a new area or in new place, but the people will not be adjusted in the new area. Okay, so the adjustment will not be satisfactory, won't be happy, the people won't be happy after shifting to the new places allocated for them. So here we can say rehabilitation of the people is not satisfactory. Rehabilitation of the people is not satisfactory. So many times to construct the dam, the government faced many obligations from the people, many oppositions from the people. For example, Tehri Dam. We have one incident, that is Tehri Dam, which was constructed or which had to be constructed around Ganga river. So many people protested against this construction of dam because their livelihood was affected, their work was affected due to the construction of this dam. And one more case we have, that is Sardar Sarovar Dam, which is constructed across Narmada river. So this dam also faced, the construction of the dam also faced many oppositions from the people, because the construction of these two dams, they, was used to disturb their livelihood as well as work. Okay, that is why these are the some disadvantages of hydroelectric power plant. Right? So in the last two classes we learned regarding conventional sources of energy. we learned in detail regarding thermal power plant as well as hydroelectric power plant, right? So in the upcoming session, we are going to learn how we implemented technology in conventional sources of energy so that we will get more benefits of it, so that we will get more advantages from it. Okay, that we are going to learn along with the wind energy and the biomass. Until that, take care. Have a nice day. Bye bye.